So the 9-game SEC schedules come out. What is this going to mean for Oklahoma, not just in 2026 with their permanent opponents, but long-term with how this schedule breaks down? We'll discuss coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And we have an important request. Locked On wants to hear from you. We've put together a survey to learn more about our listeners and make your favorite podcasts even better. This is your chance to tell us what you like, what you don't, and answer questions about our advertising. Go to lockedonpodcasts.com/survey to get started. Everyone who completes a survey will be entered for a chance to win one of 10 $100 Amazon gift cards. Again, that's lockedonpodcasts.com/survey. You can also find the link in the show notes. Thanks for helping us out. You can also scan the QR code on your screen if you're watching along with us here on YouTube. So, Jay, the 9-game league schedule is coming in 2026. There's been a lot of discussion about who the 3 permanent opponents are going to be for the Oklahoma Sooners. I know you've had your opinion on it, and if people haven't heard it, go ahead and just share who you would like to see as Oklahoma's 3 permanent opponents and who you think it will be.
Yeah, great job on the video. You dropped it. I thought it was very intriguing that we got that on the Friday news dump. Basically, late Friday night news dump.
Can I drop a theory on this real quick?
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Yes, it was a late Friday night or Friday afternoon news dump. Or was it Thursday? I think it was Thursday.
Maybe Thursday night.
Regardless.
It was a news dump.
Week 0 happened. Who did not play a game in week 0? The SEC. Who dominated a lot of the talking points over the weekend? The SEC. Greg Sankey, well done by you and your marketing crew to carry the news cycle for an entire weekend in which you did not play college football. As you were.
Yep, no games. So yes, it was Thursday at 4 p.m. So it was a late Thursday dump as everybody was trying to focus their mind on Ireland. Very good job of being in the news cycle and talking through that, especially after the CSC gave the guidance.
Yep.
Or no, it was the playoff committee that gave their guidance on how they're going to change things. Yeah. So it was fascinating that all of this came when it did, right? This could have been a great announcement for a Monday as we prepare for this week. But like you said, it no longer dominates the news cycle. Everybody's kind of got what they were going to say out of their system, and it's basically now old news for the most part. To me, I'm hoping that, as you even mentioned, and I talked about it even in the short, that if you watched Locked On SEC or even the video that we played here on the channel, I'm hoping that we get to build a new type of rival while also having something in driving distance. Because to me, regional rivalries are important. I feel like that is really the essence of college football. That is really what college football is about, being able to travel somewhere close and go to a game. And if anything, John, making it accessible to students who we know is broke. It's a lot easier to jump in the car and drive somewhere for, 3-4 hours, 10 hours. I would like it to be something like that because it'll be when students can travel to the games, it's a lot better. So for me, of course, Texas, you got to have Red River down in, the State Fair. That's going to definitely be there. Arkansas to me is one that will be awesome because it's only an hour 45 from Tulsa, right? Maybe 3 hours from the Oklahoma City Metroplex, 3.5 from Norman. So it's not a hard drive. Take 40 out to Fort Smith, go north up to Fayetteville, or you can take 44 and go across 412. So there's a lot of options to get to Arkansas. And I think LSU would be fun because the last 2 years we've had Thanksgiving games. We don't have a Thanksgiving opponent anymore because Oklahoma State does not have any open slots until like 2030 something. Why not just go ahead and build something today with LSU? I like that. I think it would be fun to build something new as we go into the new era of college football civilization. So that's one that jumps out to me. I'm anticipating us getting Missouri just because of the old Big 8. No Arkansas, and probably someone cross country like, I think it was Pat Smith that posted on social media that it was Florida, Missouri, and Texas is what the anticipation was back when they originally were looking at the 9-game schedule when Oklahoma and Texas first joined. So Florida just feels like it feels far. And I understand that it's for recruiting, but I didn't know if you knew this, John, but Louisiana has these like really big dudes that play on the interior, especially on the defensive line, that we try to go after. Like, wouldn't that be dope to be able to go there every other year, play in their home state, and let them be able to have their family come close? I'm just, thinking outside of the box here.
Yeah. Oklahoma's going to recruit Florida well, regardless of whether they play in the state of Florida or not. See Oklahoma's recruiting since Brent Venables has gotten here. They've recruited Florida well. They've got a nice little pipeline developing with IMG Academy, and that will continue to grow as well. So, Jay, whatever they do, we're going to get Texas. I think both you and I think they're going to get Missouri. And I think there's like an outside shot at maybe in Arkansas, but I feel like Arkansas is going to end up with like Texas, LSU, and Missouri.
Most likely.
And
Close
so,
games, weird.
So I think it's going to be Texas, Missouri, and then something else. But what do you think is going to happen with the other 6 games? Do you think Oklahoma is going to kind of get a fair shake when it comes to the schedule? Or do you think that the SEC is going to kind of have their sights set on making sure Texas is good for the long term and sticking Oklahoma with like going to Athens and Baton Rouge and playing in the Red River Showdown and going to Gainesville all in the same year in 2026?
So I do. So to me, I kind of anticipating them flipping the schedule.
Okay.
I do think that we're going to end up that, but at the same time, what does that mean? We'll play Georgia. We're going to play Florida, who should be both pretty good next season. All right. This season, they should be solid. Next season, be even better. Lagway will be in his 3rd year. So that's when you really see a big jump for most quarterbacks is their 3rd year as the starting quarterback. So you're going to get Florida. You're going to get Georgia. But the question is, will we see a Kentucky? Will we see a Mississippi State who, 3rd year under Levy should get better, I guess, if they get a quarterback? We'll figure out what that looks like. Will you get them? Will you get Vanderbilt, right? No Diego Pavia, he'll be gone. Do you get Vanderbilt next year? That to me is the big question is, will we see Arkansas like we didn't get them last year? Will we get Arkansas this time if they're not part of our top 3? I'm curious to see how that is finagled because it does feel like there's a very good chance that we still have some really tough games overall. And our strength of schedule doesn't adjust that much. Now, I think with Kentucky, with possibly Mississippi State, with Vanderbilt, that can kind of give you a little bit of ease. But, yeah, Florida's going to be solid. So is Georgia. We're probably going to see LSU. I just have a feeling it's going to be LSU. But if it's not, I'll put it this way. If Florida ends up one of our 3, LSU probably is going to be part of that 6-game schedule. So no matter what, it's going to be an SEC schedule. It's going to be tough. The question is, will we get Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and Mississippi State and Arkansas to be able to have a little bit of potential confidence going in the game?
It's Oklahoma, man. We're going to play tough games regardless. You're going to have a tough schedule now. You're not going to have you'll have Michigan next year. You'll go up to Ann Arbor. That'll be a tough non-conference game. And the SEC slate is just going to be difficult. That's just the reality of being in the SEC. But that's part of the reason Oklahoma wanted to get into the SEC. They wanted marquee matchups on a regular basis, not games where they're having to carry all of the storyline, where they're having to carry all of the advertising, exposure and all that stuff. They wanted marquee matchups like this. Welcome. We got it. It's coming.
Got it. Quick question. Do you think that we'll get 5 home games or 4 home games next year?
That'll be fascinating to see because
Red River will be flipped, so we'll be the home team in that one. Will we get the 5 to where we'll get 4 home, 4 away? or will we end up with 3 home and 5 away next year? Now, I know that they're going to consider that as well, because with Georgia, it's the exact same thing with them in Florida, because they have that neutral site game as well. That kind of takes away from it. So I'm wondering how they're going to play that game. That to me is good. And Arkansas, Texas A&M. That's also a neutral site game. So I'm kind of curious how they finagle that component of it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, because again, going to 9 conference games, I mean, you're going to have a season maybe where you are shorted on the home games.
Unless they guarantee it's always
shorted on the, like, literally in Owen Field or on Owen Field home games, where you'll only still have 4. But
you'll have recruits.
It's going to be 5 and 4 somehow, some way. Like, you're going to get 4 on the road, 4 at home, and then that neutral site game is going to be that 5th one that's home and away, depending on the year. So I think they'll always have 4 home games in conference.
Yes. But the question is, will they be at Owen Field or not?
Yeah.
Because of Texas.
Well, you're going to be playing 9 games.
Right. But that's the thing. There's a possibility, because next year we're the home team in Red River. There's a chance that we would have the 4 home games, one of those home games being in Texas and the other 3, and then the other 5 games all being on the road.
Yeah.
See what I mean? So that's why I'm curious how they're going to figure it.
Like, they need to treat that really independent of the rest of it, in my opinion.
They should. I agree. And that's why I mentioned,
we'll see. Like, Texas and Oklahoma Georgia should get 4 and 4.
Yeah. Same thing with Georgia and Florida. Same thing with Arkansas, A&M. They should all have 4 and 4, and then with the one neutral site in the middle. But some teams will still have 5 home games and at their home stadium outside of us, like Tennessee and all of that.
Because to me, that would be the thing that screws Oklahoma more than anything.
Exactly. That's where this comes in.
Okay. If you are cutting one home slate from Oklahoma's revenue, that sucks. Pardon my language for all the kids listening, but that one really stinks. Like,
bad.
Yeah. So I don't imagine that they're going into this thing thinking that like Georgia, Florida, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, or Texas A&M will only get 3 actual home dates. I've got to believe that Red River, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, and was it the Texas Classic, are considered in all of that, to where all those teams are going to get 4 home games, 4 away games, and then that neutral site game is included, like, is their 9th game, right? Like, they're going to schedule it out where it's 4, and then you have your neutral site game. Otherwise, those teams get screwed out of a home gate that is a lot of revenue for them, and their cities are screwed out of a home date that is a large amount of their revenue per annum. So I got to believe that's the case. So this has been an extended conversation that we probably went a little bit too long on, but it'll definitely bear watching as we get to December and the SEC releases those schedules for 2026, but it'll be something certainly to watch. Josh Pate dropped his record predictions for the SEC. We'll discuss that coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.